First of all, let me explain the situation to you. I'm 27 years old, and my sister is a few years younger than me. Ever since we were kids, my dad has always treated her better than me. Our mother passed away when we were young, so there was no one who raised us but my father. I don't know why, but she has always been his favorite ever since we were little. My father did not have much money, but if she asked for something, he would buy it for her. She even used the money that our mom had left us for her college tuition, which was quite expensive. She spent a whole semester not attending any classes, but getting money from my dad. During that time, our family was forced to live on the bare minimum. I did part-time jobs to buy myself basic things because my dad couldn't pay anymore. Later, the university contacted him for her frequent absences, and our father learned that she had dropped out of school. All the while, she spent that money on clubs and alcohol. When my father asked her about the college, she cried and told her she was stressed with studying. She finally got a job. She moved out to another city and did not contact us for a few months, which shows her personality. My sister is selfish and self-centered. She's lazy and doesn't try to do anything on her own. She was even doing poorly in school. My father spoiled her, always giving her the latest things while I got the basics. He would give her gifts to make her happy when she was in the bad mood. No one cared if I received an award. I grew to despise my sister as I grew older. When I was studying at college, I did not get any help from my dad, though he had promised to finance me, which never happened. A few months after, my sister started working for the company. She became pregnant and moved back home. Her husband did not earn enough money at his job to take care of her and their future baby, so all the money that my dad had went to take care of her family. Even I had to support them. I used what I saved up. I had to apply for scholarship. Fortunately, I was doing good at studying, so I could get the scholarship, but things were getting worse and worse. She finally restarted working, but she was terrible at managing money. Her husband was the worst. He's definitely ungrateful. He would make demands of her that she could not fulfill. I admit I did feel sorry for her sometimes, which was why I supported them in most of the time. I just didn't want the baby to starve. Another thing was that I would get pressure from my dad to help them out. When I finally finished school, I was able to find a job with a good salary. Finally, things were working out for me and I was making good money. For the first time in a long time, I don't have to worry about money. It was enough for me to live comfortably. I got my own apartment and I was living comfortably, sending money to my dad monthly. Then I found out that my sister quit her job because she was pregnant again. It is not right that people who can't afford to have children left and right. That was a year ago and everything has changed since then. They had to move out from where they were living because they could not pay rent. I think that my sister quit working because I was now making money and she wanted me to fund them. She thinks that I owe her, though she has never done anything for me. My father kindly took them in his house because they had nowhere to go. It was his favorite daughter who did nothing wrong in his eyes. When will he see that she's good for nothing? She was so stupid, as if she didn't know that once she quit her job, she would not have any money. She was very demanding. It was always something. I was trying to build my own life outside of them, but now I was getting dragged into unnecessary drama all the time. Just because I was making money and considered as rich by my family did not mean that I did not have responsibilities. First of all, I had to pay rent for my apartment. I had to get an apartment near my office, and those are expensive. I will not go into the details, but a chunk of my pay goes into the apartment. Secondly, I have a company car. While not a burden, the cost of gasoline is significant. After a certain amount of kilometers, I have to foot the bill. Thirdly, I am human. I need to buy groceries and food for myself to live. I do need to save money too because I have things I want to do. Fourthly, I send money to my father every month, even though we're not on good terms. He's my father, and I know he has a lot of bills, and most of his money goes towards paying off his debts because of that loafer that is my sister. As you can see, I do not have the money to take care of a grown woman, her husband, and children. She is my sister. She's supposed to be taking some sort of responsibility. She's always in and out of jobs. The last one was the one that was paying well. During the time when she had money, she did not even speak to me. She acted as if I was a stranger. Her husband, who loves expensive things and does not work, was always shopping. His Instagram was filled with fancy cars and brand items that he bought with her money. During that time, she did not pay me back any of the money that I loaned her when she was struggling. I really tried to get my money back. If she was a decent person, I would have let it go, but I am so stressed. She had been taking from me everything. I wish that my dad would stop spoiling her. I had to live on my own. I had to take care of myself, and I got no help from anyone in the family. How messed up is that? My dad has already retired due to age, so when he took them in, he had extra mouths to feed. A pregnant woman needs doctor's appointments and care. My dad has his faults, but his biggest one is spoiling my sister. When my mother was alive, she did not allow him to do so. She was a strict woman, and she always made sure that we were treated equally. If only she was alive, maybe my sister would have turned out better. I understand why he took them in. They had nowhere to go. But who the hell told her that it was a good idea to quit her job? When I asked why she quit, she told me that she did not want to work anymore. Even her husband told us that he had an amazing business plan, which was absolute nonsense. I wonder what would happen if I was the one who this was happening to. If I was out of a job and I needed a place to stay. I do not think that anyone in my family would help me out. I am just a moneymaker. Work is stressful. I have a job that requires a lot from me, and there's no room for me to mess up due to my position. But would you believe if I told you that I'm happier when I'm at work? As soon as I get home, I have to read messages asking for money from either my father or my sister. And because they are my family, I help out sometimes. I cannot let a pregnant woman suffer because I don't like her husband. My dream life was destroyed due to them. I'm never available because I'm always putting out fires at home. I do not even have the energy to meet up with my friends and enjoy my youth anymore. When I do get a day off, I have to visit my father's house. My father is old and he cannot manage everything on his own, and neither my sister nor the husband helps out. My sister spends the whole day talking with her friends and surfing the internet, not doing either of the things she said she was going to do after she gave birth. She never greets me. The only time she speaks to me is to ask for money so that she can buy things. The husband, on the other hand, is always complaining about one thing or another. The other kid's always looking like she's hungry because they barely ever cook at home. It's a nightmare. My mental health is not doing well because I have to take care of 3 adults and 2 children and still manage work at the same time. And when I do not answer my phone, I come back to a million texts and messages. It is having an effect on me. I've lost weight and I found a gray hair a little over a while ago. Sometimes I think of moving somewhere far and never speaking to my family ever again. My father barely helped me when I was in financial trouble, but here he was, not even blinking when it came to her. We argue all the time because of her. I always have to contribute my hard-earned money to help with basic things. My father calls me all the time to tell me that she is demanding money from him. How can he give her money when he's not working? I suspect that she pockets his savings. She's such a sneaky little bastard, I'm sure that she's taking all of his money. I have no idea what I should do. I'm being taken advantage of by my own sister. Lately, I've started to refuse to help her out with cash because I'm tired. Most of my paycheck is going towards her and Dad. I can take care of Dad even if he does not appreciate it, but I cannot take care of her. We've been arguing every day for a while now because I'm not sending her as much money as I did in the past. I told her and her husband to get a job because I'm not a bank. My father told me I'm being selfish the other day. If her husband really cared, then he would have gotten his ass off the couch and gotten a damn job like everyone else. I don't know what else I should do at this point. I'm struggling to cope under the pressure of their demands. I want to live my own life and enjoy my own money for once in my life. Is that so much to ask? I feel bad because she is now pregnant again, but she should have thought about that before she quit her job. Do you feel like I'm a terrible person for considering cutting her off financially? I'm at a breaking point now, and I do not know what to do.